What's good, YouTube and Twitch? We have Dan the Man Cunningham versus Tiffany Preseley, a pretty high-profile match here. And no clue what either player is playing as its new format. They've both been known to play some different decks, and it looks like Razel is Tiffany, and she is going first. So she is playing Pendulum, and it'll be interesting to see what Dan plays. Opening pretty strong here with Iris Abductor, the only really better things we could have seen.
Absolutely. It's actually really funny because the previous format, Dan was historically known for being the guy with Pendulum. He topped YCS Atlanta with the deck and played it all the way through. While Tiffany has been known for Harpies, so it's kind of interesting to see the shoe on the other foot.
Yeah, I know she's been playing Pendulum for a bit, but I don't know if she stuck through it with this ban list. And searching Sorcerer here, so she has Master Sorcerer, pretty strong. And Boom Buku! Alright, this is an extremely strong opener. And
Dan's playing what I think he's playing. This could be trouble.
Wow, and she's probably playing the trap. She got a QB, not a Kieran.
Oh, man.
So she's calling that she's playing a Pendulum Mirror, maybe.
Does she have the Kieran already, though? That's the question.
I don't think so. I think she chose the traps.
Even still, having a searchable Solemn Strike's pretty good.
Now, the thing you have to worry about here is if Dan is sticking to pins, an Odd Eyes Fusion would be a huge start for him.
Oh, absolutely. It would definitely be a way of combating the board.
Yeah, there's no way for her to play around it. But she's going to draw a Pot of Greed here for the follow-up. What a strong opener, despite the new list.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see the deck function without a monkey board, but it looks like she's making it work.
More than work, it looks like. Here comes the master.
Empty search.
Oh, no, she didn't contact these. Okay, never mind, I'm being silly.
Cool. I'd imagine she'd get Luster in this case, but we'll see what she adds. Oh, Joker. Also good.
I'm surprised she got Pot of Greed. Okay, yeah. Without Monkey, I guess she was left to search that. Going with advantage and guarantees, and something that will force back row is pretty good. One card to force back row instead of committing to.
Very true. So, we know at least one of these is a Tempest, but the real question is, what is the other card? And more importantly, what did Tiffany draw?
Highly likely a Strike is down, and yeah, there's no telling what she drew. It could be anything.
Yeah, like for example, like if Dan decided to play B8, for example, if she drew Maxi, ooh, it's looking like Blue Eyes.
Blue Eyes, White Dragon, and he discards an alternative. To get alternative in Blue Eyes, okay.
I feel like this matchup is very heavily in Blue Eyes' favor.
Ooh, Maxi! Straight up here.
Damn, she's not playing around.
Doesn't alternative have to reveal?
No, it's inherent. So you have to preemptively do it.
Yeah, see, I thought because you had to reveal the Blue Eyes that it had to reveal.
No, I'm pretty sure it's the only card in the deck that actually is just, like, inherent. But yeah, she's in a pretty solid position here because Dan's going to have to, like, really give her a lot of cards to go, and otherwise he's going to be in a lot of trouble next turn.
Now, instead of opting to attack, he opts to destroy, trying to bait out the back rows. That's not bad. And we have a trade in here to get... I've seen Blue Eyes decks, like, dig through 20 cards in their first turn.
Yeah, the draw power is absolutely crazy, especially because I feel this deck abuses Pot of Desires more than anything else at the moment.
I'd have to argue Psyframes.
It's also true.
Goo, you don't want other people playing.
Please don't play Psyframes. If you're watching this, please. Friends, don't let friends play Psyframes. But the fact that Dan opted to attack with, or use Alternative Effect, probably means that he has a tuner in hand to make Spirit, even if there's a Tempest.
Ooh, that's the Reborn, right?
Yeah, that also protects.
Man. Any Dragon-type monster, so Xyz overlays anything. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely. It's not going to stop the Tempest negating the summon, but it's definitely nice to have.
If Tempest tries to destroy by effect, can it happen?
Yeah, so like if the alternative were to be summoned and it used the effect, you could banish You can banish the spell from grave because it doesn't activate. But here's a tornado.
Wow. Now, which one do you banish here?
Probably the regular Blue Eyes because alternative can't attack.
So she opts to put the QB in the extra because, like, the Pendulum Summon of Boombuku would already require her to Pendulum Summon. So, like, to get the search. So I feel like that is the better. And there's a Maxi back, but Maxi, as we know, definitely not as good against Pendulum decks. She can, if she's playing multiple traps here, she can just... Oh, a chain face-off! It may be game this turn, depending on that back row.
Yeah, it looks like she's going in. That's quite a combination.
And she got the luster. Oh my goodness gracious.
She's gonna have an Ignister before she Pendulum Summons. That's ridiculous.
Well, it's 7 right now on field.
Right, but she had a Joker.
Joker, you're right, you're right. And a draw! She's gonna draw for good turtle!
She needs to be stopped. This is crazy.
She is making pendulums look like it used to.
Oh, man.
No monkey board needed. Wombo combos. Oh, no, sorry. She's gonna draw 2. My bad.
Because she's already not enough ahead.
Like, you don't... what can he draw? Veiler? Like, Veiler's his only hope here, and she can still Utopia the Lightning. So he needs, like, double Veiler.
It really depends on what, like, a face down is. But chances are, oh, she's letting it go, so she probably already has an answer for it.
Oh, she could have Eccentric, you're right. She's gone through... She has 16 cards left. If she plays 2 Eccentrics, the chances she has one is so high, but no, it doesn't look like she has it.
Apparently not.
So, yeah. Okay, so the cool thing here is, if she Pendulum Summons and it gets negated, he's not going to draw a card.
That's also true.
And if she Pendulum Summons and it's good, she wins. And she'll get a trap card.
Ariadne, so even if it gets negated, she's getting some value, too.
I'm surprised she did not Pendulum the QB. I guess she only plays one of each trap. Which, streamlining the deck, that makes sense, possibly. And she could only be playing 1 QB. And Dan, being the gentleman, taking this one by one. Or does he have something that can only stop 1 attack?
Maybe. It's not looking too good, though.
Nope, there is the GG. Dan taking every attack to the face.
Oh man, it's pretty surreal to see a Pendulum deck going after Dan.
Yeah, the man self-proclaimed, I would say, to like have one of the biggest, deepest loves for pendulums, and the deck's coming back on him.
Absolutely, like in my mind, he's easily among like the top 3 with the deck. I can't really think of many other people off the top of my head that are as skilled with it. Oh man.
We always like to take this time to thank ProPlay Games and TrollandToad.com. Without them, you wouldn't have this free-to-enter tournament series where nobody has to pay anything and you get prizes. Pretty cool.
Absolutely. So, like I said, going into Game 1, I feel being able to go first and establish a Blue-Eyed Spirit Dragon is going to be very, very important in this matchup. I mean, ultimately, if Tiffany can get access to Ignister, she has it, but if not, it's going to be pretty difficult to deal with.
So who is left side decking here?
It would appear to be Dan.
Nope, Dan is ready, and Tiffany is ready. Alright, we're into it. Game 2. I assume Dan goes second here? Yeah.
Really?
Tiffany, Preseley.
And Dan
he lost game 1.
Hopefully to dig for the spirit.
It's interesting. Dan chose to go first with Blue Eyes, so I guess he is trying to, yeah, like you said, make spirit. That's...
Yeah,
I don't
like,
know.
Nothing else. Like, it's outable, but you have to commit your pendulums onto it.
Soul charge for 1.
Though. So he really has got to get to it.
Well, he wasn't attacking this turn anyways, and there is our tuner.
Yeah. And he's getting some value out of the stone as well, especially if he has like a Silver's Cry in his hand, so he can get back the Dragon Spirit and banish the Spell Trap.
The more I see things like this, the more and more I think Kaijus are just so good this format.
Yeah, they're the be-all, end-all answer. Especially because they can't even respond to it. If they have it, they just drop it, there's nothing you can do about it. Definitely a respectable turn 1 from Dan. Let's see how Tiffany deals with it.
Yeah, 3,000. Ooh, oh, no!
I'd wager she's not going to do this.
Yeah, there's the pass on chaining to it. Hopefully it wasn't.
My synchro says you can't pendulum summon, but just in case.
Well, no, okay, so you can summon one, pendulum summon another.
Yeah,
but you can't pendulum summon it with anti-spell. I think this
correct.
this is probably the most locked out field for pendulums that you could see. So we see why he opted first. Now, interesting. So he had
let her have that.
He had Soul Charge, Valor, Anti-Spell in his opening 5. Oh, he used Trade-In though, right? So it wasn't. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So at least there was some draw to it. But Trade-In to pitch, draw 2, a Soul Charge Stone, Valor.
And he's more likely going to Azurize here. So what he can do is, because it's a vanilla engrave, he can get back Spirit Dragon, and then banish one of their set spells.
It's considered a vanilla engrave?
Yeah.
Is that part of its effect?
Mm-hmm. It's always treated as a Blue Eyes, and it's a normal wall on the Feeler Grave.
Wow.
And he can make a Dark Matter and really start to go in.
And here goes a back row, right?
And we see the scoop.
Yep, the surrender. So now, how do you adjust from this? Does Dan keep an anti-spell if he goes second, too?
It's definitely an interesting question. I personally am not a big fan of anti-spell and Blue Eyes just because it's really, really devastating after you make your board, but I feel like once that board gets outed, it just cripples your deck so hard.
But your hope against pendulums is that you can kill them within 2 turns.
That's very true.
Yeah, afterwards we'll probably allow the Discord server on... No, we really can't, actually, because, like, the Discord server actually... there are things on Twitch that you can and can't say, and so I don't want to, like, restrict the Discord server or put the Discord server to risk the Twitch, so to speak. I can't trust everybody to behave themselves. I was in there earlier. Yeah, we made it today. It's available in Zodiac if you go check.
It'll definitely be interesting to see how this plays out. I feel like Dan's best bet is going to be maxing out on hand traps, potentially maybe even like Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit to give him some power against game 1, especially or against turn 1, especially Twin Twisters for all of the traps Tiffany showed game 1.
So question, on Dev Pro with Anti-Spell, if a card is already set and then you flip Anti-Spell but it was set that turn, can you flip it?
That's actually a good question.
Because that's how it's starting to be ruled at YCS, I believe. YCS at Nationals.
I would think that you wouldn't be able to, because anti-spell just reads you can't activate them.
Yeah, the OP01 text is different.
Oh.
Yeah, they gave it a different text.
I see. Ooh, so we're seeing a pretty respectable pendulum summon here.
Yeah, we've
Tiffany's
got...
getting the Plot of Greed, and she's getting a trap.
Yeah, but she had to use a lizard draw already, so she has to be mindful of her high scales.
That's very true.
So, yeah, you're going to see Good Turtle be left out, but if Good Turtle gets popped, and Dan knows this as a player, if Good Turtle gets popped, it's in trouble.
Yeah, she's pretty much going to have to rely on Allies Unicorn to be her high skill for the rest of the game.
Yeah, or hope to get into Eccentric and not have to use it to pop. Alright, so one of the rare cards that you use between your draws.
Alright, Sky Iris will help out a lot with that potentially.
I would have also considered... if you knew you were gonna Sky, okay, I'll finish my thought. I would have considered using Sky Iris between the draws, but she had got into Ariande here, which is even better, of course.
Absolutely. So, I don't know. What do you think? The fact that she searched Tempest, does that imply that maybe she has or she searched Tornado? She has a Tempest already in hand.
I don't know, honestly. Did we see what got added to hand here?
We took the log. No, I did not.
And here's the Magister again. Should be interesting to see what she grabs. How many sets? We knew there would be at least 2. There are 3.
That's going to be a lot to deal with. And she grabs the Luster for next turn.
Yeah, this time going with Luster, especially with the Ariande already loaded Pendulum. Like,
yeah, I would definitely say that Dan's on the clock right now.
With 3 back rows to face into. Like, how do you play through this field? Okay, so, yeah, see, there's the Blue Eyes reveal. That's why I thought maybe you could max C to the reveal.
Ooh, and that strike is actually really important because if Dan has another alternative hand, he can't drop it.
Ooh, because she did it to effect.
Yeah, because it says you can only summon it once.
Nice.
And you can't return it either because it wasn't properly special summoned.
41 people joining us right now. That's pretty strong for just having logged on the stream.
I'd argue that both these players are pretty well known in the community. It's definitely an interesting match.
Indeed. So trade-in, we've got draw power here.
Yeah, hopefully Dan can dig for an answer to this board, maybe a Twin Twisters. That would really come in handy.
I see the biased commentary over here.
I don't know. It's a really good situation for Tiffany.
I see the biased commentary. Hopefully Dan gets there. All right.
What can I say? I've seen Dan at so many events, and he's just such a pleasant person.
Yeah, Dan's like the nicest guy. Team Zodiac zone. So we've got Reborn. But we know it can get banished, right?
Yes.
But we're going to wait for a battle phase for that, I assume.
More than likely. It's unfortunate that he didn't pitch out Dragon Spirit with that, because if nothing else, he would have gotten some value out of the Reborn.
Now that's really interesting. He's attacking the Magister instead of the one that can force the trap card.
I guess he was worried about potentially putting it in the extract so we could get another search, but ultimately it's going to happen anyway.
Yeah. No, I think he has a summon negation. Or if he has anti-spell here, the unfortunate thing is that Magister can special the Draco Slayer if he has another 4.
It's true. Ooh, he keeps in the fragrance.
Yeah, but like I was saying, now Magister can just special the Draco Slayer if she has another 4.
Right, but it can't be used as an Xyz material.
She'll just make Ignister.
Oh yes, that's very true. So...
Oh, she didn't special it. What? Oh, I guess she doesn't have a 4. So I think this is pretty best case for Dan.
Yeah, as long as he's got a play for the next turn. He's in a pretty good position now that she's out of the scale.
Yeah, Sky Iris can search some kind of 4 that was any kind of decent scale. Man.
That would be very explosive. Like, if your turtle was like any level other than a 1, it'd be kind of crazy.
So he slowed the clock, but the pressure is still facing him. And now he has to set his own spells, like you said. You didn't like anti-spell in the deck. Well, if he had something he drew that he might have been able to help him, it just got shut off. And there's a Bumbuku. You can't destroy me.
Or target me.
But a sighted Rippling Mirror Force would be pretty sick.
Oh, absolutely. As it stands, this looks to be game if Dan doesn't have the answer.
There's 12 hundo. I seriously doubt it's a one-stop clock. We had a waiting there for a bit.
Protect Phoenix Wing Wind Blast?
No, I seriously doubt it. Well,
and that's the game.
That's game. Tiffany Marie Preseley moving on with a W over Zodiac's own Dan Cunningham. Pendulum's coming back against the Pendulum Duelist himself, who left the deck. Any final words?
Can't keep a ban list out. I guess you can't keep it down after a ban list. Very interested to see how we'll do in further rounds.